CEPIS and its member societies especially have teamed together to form a coherent strategy around the contribution this sector can have on society. And I encourage you all and all other stakeholders across Europe to do the same. The ICT sector is of such importance nowadays that without a proper strategy in place that embraces the overwhelmingly positive contribution that ICT can have, we will be left behind. One of the phrases that I heard a lot recently is, "How green are you?" As we start to realize that the way of the future is indeed digital, we must also start thinking about how we can limit the way the ICT sector itself contributes harmfully to the environment, and more optimistically about the extremely positive impact that the ICT sector can have in reducing Europe's carbon footprint. Recent figures published by the European Commission show that today ICT equipment and services are esteemed to be responsible for somewhere between 2.5 and 4% of the European Union carbon emissions and 8 to 10% of our electricity consumption. As part of the Digital Agenda for Europe flagship initiatives, the European Commission will focus on the energy efficiency of the ICT sector in at least 2 actions of their agenda. CEPIS praises the European Commission for these actions, but I believe that they can be only successful if all European ICT companies, stakeholders, and beyond become involved and join together to carry out these actions. For the recovery and growth of our economy, it is essential that the ICT sector and other major emitting sectors, such as transport, building, and construction, band together to fully take advantage of the energy-saving capacity of ICT. The use of green ICT needs to be encouraged and promoted for even further organizations like SMEs, small and medium enterprises, and with European citizens' personal use of ICT. CEPIS, as the leading organization of European ICT professionals, is committed to mobilizing its members to promote the ideas of green ICT and contribute to the environment's protection. Last year, we launched the Green ICT Task Force, which now consists of more than a dozen experts in the area of green ICT, representing 10 different countries and 11 informatics associations from across Greater Europe. Mr. Byron Nicolaidis, CEPIS Honorary Secretary and Vice President of HePIS, will present more information about the activity of the task force and will reveal the results of recent pan-European survey of ICT managers created by the task force, of course, later in the session. Regarding green ICT and its influence at a more local level, it is clear that both the public and private sectors have a responsibility in controlling their power consumption and wasteful usage of ICT resources in many European countries. CEPIS believes that public authorities must adopt actions on both a national and on a pan-European level in order to enhance public e-services. The private sector, being more flexible, could also easily adopt practices that contribute to energy efficiency and reduction of power consumption. Many of you are here today are part of various sectors of industry and business, including but not limited to the ICT sector. And I believe that all of us should implement green ICT practices in our personal and professional lives and contribute to the environment protection in this way. Dear colleagues, cloud computing is an advancement in ICT that has started to revolutionize the way in which citizens, businesses, and governments in Europe operate. With a simple internet connection, a lot of things can be done. As such, cloud computing has been an important focus on CEPIS strategy over the last number of years. European citizens are utilizing cloud computing in a number of ways, different ways, either via web applications or for saving information on a remote database with practically endless storage space available. It is true that the advantages of cloud computing include also, most importantly, cost savings, especially for small and medium enterprises, but the fact that cloud computing also carried implication of data protection is quite clear, particularly across borders. I was encouraged to see the European Commission launching a public consultation this year where all Europeans could respond and share their opinions about this issue. I am looking forward to the cloud computing strategy that is to be launched next year by the Commission based on the result of this consultation. And I hope the discussions today also will bring some very valuable input. CEPIS and its member society also published its first paper on cloud computing. The paper is available in both English and Greek on our website. We appreciate and gladly welcome the incredibly positive impact that cloud computing has had on all of our daily lives. But before any major development continue in this field, both positive and indeed negative sides have to be examined. This is why our statement explores the security and privacy implications associated with cloud computing. The CEPIS working group in charge of legal and security issues examined areas such as loss of control over data and dependence on the cloud computing providers and outlines the related issues in this paper. We also provide 15 recommendations on measures that should be taken to deal with the risks and privacy invasion factors of cloud computing. I look forward today to seeing involving an active discussion about the huge value that the cloud computing can provide in the corporate world and beyond, but also some of our concerns needed to be considered too. One of such concerns is digital divide, with the need to consolidate what I call the 4 pillars of its bridge: appropriate ICT infrastructure, accessible and affordable internet access, generalized ability to use ICT, and availability of useful content. The predominant narrowband access still in the world versus broadband application produces now a new divide in the use of transactional applications like e-government, e-commerce, and of course, the use of cloud computing. I am glad to be here, dear colleagues, at the Digital Trends 2011, in the perfect setting which is here for the open and an active discussions to take place on all these topics. CEPIS is extremely proud to be co-hosting the Digital Trends 2011 with Greek member society HePIS. Today's forum is a relevant and significant event that is catered toward European ICT professionals, businesses, and citizens alike, and we hope that you all be enlightened, and more importantly, we hope that this event will inspire you to realize the importance of the 2 influential topics currently having an impact on ICT world.